trappings, tout ce qui va autour
Oui.
d'un star, soi-disant,
Oui.
ça m'intéresse pas beaucoup de sortir.
Hello, and welcome back to Icons of Elegance, a place where we explore the lives, style, and enduring legacy of the world's most timeless icons. There is a reason Charlotte Rampling's photographs never seem to age. Remove the year. Remove the context. Remove the fashion headlines. What remains is a woman whose style still feels contemporary decades later. That is the difference between fashion and elegance. Charlotte Rampling never dressed to be remembered. She dressed with such consistency that remembering her became inevitable. Across more than 5 decades, her wardrobe changed very little. The silhouettes evolved, the fabrics changed, time left its mark, but the principles remained remarkably constant. She understood that elegance isn't created by owning more. It is created by knowing what truly belongs. Today, we'll explore the principles behind Charlotte Rampling's timeless style and discover why her wardrobe remains as relevant today as it was half a century ago. The first thing you notice about Charlotte Rampling isn't her clothing, it's her presence. She rarely asks for attention. She never seems eager to impress. There is a calmness in the way she stands, the way she walks, even the way she looks into the camera. She doesn't perform elegance. She inhabits it. Looking through decades of photographs, one thing becomes immediately clear. Charlotte never built her identity around fashion. She built a personal uniform. The same white shirts, the same perfectly cut trousers, the same understated jackets, the same disciplined palette, again and again. Many people mistake repetition for limitation. Charlotte understood something different. When you stop searching for the next version of yourself, your style begins to acquire something trends can never offer: recognition. You could remove every designer label from her wardrobe and lose none of its power, because elegance was never coming from the clothes. It was coming from the woman wearing them. That distinction is easy to overlook. We often assume that elegance begins with beautiful garments, luxury houses, or carefully chosen accessories. Charlotte suggests the opposite. The wardrobe follows the woman, not the other way around. Perhaps that's why her photographs continue to feel modern. Nothing appears forced. Nothing feels overcomposed. Nothing seems chosen simply because it was fashionable at the time. Instead, every outfit appears to answer a single question. Does this feel like me? It is a quiet kind of discipline, one that asks for confidence rather than constant change. If there is one garment that appears more than any other throughout Charlotte Rampling's life, it is the white shirt. Not a dramatic one, not heavily embellished, not designed to make a statement, just a beautifully cut white shirt. Again, and again, and again, most people treat a white shirt as a basic. Charlotte treated it as a foundation. She understood something that fashion often forgets. The simpler the garment, the more visible the person becomes. There is nowhere to hide behind a white shirt, no pattern to distract, no embellishment to impress, no trend to borrow personality from. It asks the wearer to bring something of themselves. Confidence, ease, presence. Perhaps that is why so many people struggle to wear simplicity. Simplicity reveals. Charlotte never seemed afraid of that. Sometimes the shirt is crisp and structured. Other times it appears softened by time, the cotton relaxed through years of wear. The sleeves are often rolled without precision. The collar left naturally open. Nothing feels overly considered, and yet everything feels intentional. That balance is surprisingly difficult to achieve, because effortless style rarely comes from carelessness. It comes from familiarity. She knew exactly how these shirts moved, how they sat on her shoulders, how they caught the light, how they became part of her rather than something placed upon her. She wasn't wearing a white shirt. She was wearing her white shirt. There is an important difference. Today, wardrobes are often built around novelty. Charlotte built hers around reliability. Instead of asking, "What should I wear today?" she had already answered a more important question years before. What truly suits me? Once that answer became clear, the rest became remarkably simple. The white shirt stopped being an item of clothing. It became part of her visual language. And like every language spoken fluently, it never sounded repetitive, only authentic. Charlotte Rampling rarely relied on decoration. Instead, she relied on structure. Long before the phrase quiet luxury became fashionable, she understood that the most powerful garments are often the least conspicuous. A beautifully tailored jacket, a perfectly cut pair of trousers, a coat that falls exactly where it should. These are not pieces that demand attention, they earn it slowly. Looking across the decades, there is remarkable consistency in the way Charlotte chooses her tailoring. The shoulders are defined but never exaggerated. The waist is acknowledged, never restricted. The lines remain clean, nothing interrupts the silhouette. Many people imagine tailoring as something formal. Charlotte wore it as naturally as others wear knitwear. A blazer over denim, a structured jacket with an open shirt, a long coat thrown casually over simple trousers. Nothing appeared ceremonial. It simply belonged. Perhaps that is the secret. When clothing becomes part of everyday life rather than reserved for special occasions, elegance stops feeling like an event. It becomes a habit. She never seemed dressed for the camera. The camera simply happened to find her dressed well. That distinction changes everything, because true style survives even when nobody is watching. There is another detail that becomes impossible to ignore. Everything fits. Nothing appears slightly too large. Nothing feels slightly too tight. Every garment seems to exist in quiet harmony with her proportions. Today we often speak about trends: oversized, slim, relaxed, wide leg, straight leg. Charlotte was never particularly interested in any of them. Instead, she asked a different question. Does this proportion serve me? It is a far more useful question, because proportions remain elegant long after trends disappear. This is why photographs taken 40 or even 50 years apart still feel connected. The garments evolve, the principles do not. If the trousers are generous, the shirt remains clean. If the coat carries weight, everything beneath it becomes lighter. Nothing competes. Each piece allows the next to breathe. It feels less like getting dressed and more like composing a painting. Every line has a purpose. Every shape creates another. Nothing is accidental. We can also observe how denim appears throughout Charlotte Rampling's wardrobe, but it rarely communicates casualness. That may sound contradictory, yet she demonstrates that fabric alone never determines elegance. The way something is worn matters far more than what it is made from. Her jeans are remarkably simple. No heavy distressing, no oversized logos, just denim. Sometimes deep indigo, sometimes softly faded with time. Combined with a crisp white shirt, a tailored blazer, or a beautifully cut coat, they become something entirely different. Not because the jeans have changed, but because everything surrounding them elevates them. Charlotte reminds us that elegance is rarely created by one exceptional piece, by the relationship between textures, between proportions, and between confidence and restraint. The discipline of repetition fashion encourages novelty. Charlotte quietly resists it. Look carefully through years of photographs and familiar shapes begin to reappear. The same jacket, the same shirt, the same trousers, perhaps in another fabric, perhaps in another shade, but unmistakably connected. Some might call this predictable, but Charlotte understood something much deeper. Every great artist develops a recognizable style. Every accomplished architect repeats certain proportions. Every composer returns to familiar themes. Why should dressing be any different? Repetition is not the opposite of creativity. It is often the result of clarity. When you know what belongs, there is very little left to invent. That confidence creates consistency, and consistency creates identity. Without ever announcing it, Charlotte Rampling built one of the most recognizable wardrobes in modern history. Not because she owned more, but because she needed less. Charlotte Rampling has never relied on color to create interest. If anything, she has done the opposite. Black, white, cream, camel, navy, soft gray, occasionally olive, a muted blue. The palette changes very little over the decades. To some, it might seem restrained, even repetitive, but that restraint is precisely what allows every photograph to remain timeless. Fashion often uses color to create excitement. Charlotte uses it to create harmony. When every piece belongs to the same visual family, getting dressed becomes almost effortless. Each garment speaks the same language. Nothing interrupts the conversation. There is another advantage to a restrained palette. It allows the eye to settle. Instead of noticing the clothes first, you begin to notice the woman. her expression, her posture, the quiet confidence with which she occupies a room. The colors never compete with her, they support her. This is one of the least understood principles of timeless style. Elegance is not always about adding. Sometimes it is about removing everything that distracts. When color is understated, texture takes its place. Charlotte rarely relies on embellishment, heavy prints, or decorative excess. Interest comes from the fabric itself: crisp cotton, soft cashmere, and structured wool. Her style did not dramatically reinvent itself over time. It evolved gently. While many public figures adopt a new image with every decade, Charlotte refined what was already there. The woman photographed in her youth remains recognizable years later. That continuity gives her style strength. She never needed to explain who she was; her consistency did it for her. In a world obsessed with reinvention, Charlotte Rampling reminds us that style does not always need transformation. Sometimes, it only needs refinement. There is another reason Charlotte Rampling continues to fascinate. She never seemed to wage war against time. She allowed herself to age without sacrificing her elegance. The fashion industry often treats youth as though beauty has an expiration date. Charlotte quietly proved otherwise. Each stage of her life feels authentic. Perhaps that is why photographs taken decades apart sit so naturally beside one another. Neither competes with the other. True elegance does not resist time. It moves with it. Charlotte never tried to remain 25. She became something far more enduring, entirely herself. Spend enough time looking through Charlotte Rampling's photographs and something unexpected happens. You begin to notice her clothes less, and her presence more. The garments quietly recede into the background. What remains is composure, stillness, self-possession. It becomes clear that elegance was never in the clothes themselves. It was in the way she wore them. That may be the greatest lesson her wardrobe offers. Clothes can frame a person. They cannot create one. Confidence cannot be tailored. Ease cannot be purchased. Charlotte never relied on fashion to become someone else. She used it to express who she already was. That quiet certainty gives her photographs their remarkable longevity. They are not remembered because they followed trends. They endure because they reveal a person. Long before anyone called it quiet luxury, Charlotte lived it without trying to. Nothing about her wardrobe asks for attention. It simply belongs to her. Real elegance is built that way, choice after choice, year after year, until a wardrobe no longer feels curated. It feels inevitable. Perhaps that is why Charlotte Rampling continues to fascinate us. Not because she always wore beautiful clothes. Many people do. Not because she followed fashion brilliantly. She rarely seemed interested in following it at all. But because she understood something deeper. That true elegance begins long before we open a wardrobe. It begins with self-knowledge, with restraint, with the confidence to repeat what is already beautiful instead of constantly chasing something new. Looking through her photographs, we realize we have not simply been watching a woman get dressed. We have been watching someone become increasingly herself. And perhaps that is the most timeless style of all. Thank you for watching Icons of Elegance. If you enjoyed this exploration of Charlotte Rampling's timeless style, I'd love to know what resonated with you most. Leave a comment below and tell me your favorite lesson from her wardrobe, or let me know which icon of elegance you'd like to see featured next. And if you'd like to continue exploring timeless style together, I'd be delighted to have you back. I'll see you in the next one.